I got a world record holder in the studio.
Hey guys, my name is Roy Orrantia. Yeah, I'm a world record holder now. So I've been doing strongman since I was 19. I'm 28 now. I'm also 3 times Arizona Strongest Man, 2020, 2022, and 2025. And so at the time I was abusing a lot of anabolics, basically trying anything to get stronger at the time. Even though at 20 years old, I managed to deadlift 700 pounds. Everyone's different, right? So
do you sleep that much? How often do you sleep? As a big man, how often do you sleep?
So let's get into that, because honestly, it depends. I can sleep anywhere from like an hour to 10 hours.
Okay.
And the reason it's like that is because I suffer from schizophrenia. Mm-hmm. So yeah, when I was 21, yeah, I think, no, I was 23, sorry. It was in 2021, so I was 23 years old.
Yeah.
I was in a competition for Strongman, and I had a very public manic episode. And I was like just screaming with people, and
you were angry.
It was just it was very apparent that something was very wrong.
Okay.
I had suicidal intentions, people were very scared to even approach me, and I was like, just this presence about me was very threatening, And so luckily my wife, who the lady who's now my wife, she was there. She was able to recognize, hey, he's having a manic episode. We need to get him to a mental facility. Mm-hmm. And so that night I ended up in a mental facility, like probably 2 a.m. at night, because they were just having so much trouble trying to get me as a 275-pound guy at the time to get into like this. I just wouldn't go through the door. Like they just couldn't get me. No one could hold me down. Yeah. I was ridiculously strong at the time. And so, I mean, when I'm manic, I'm anywhere from, I would say 10 to 15% actually stronger, because I'm able to just not feel as much pain, basically. But anyway, so yeah, I suffer from schizophrenia. And so I take anti-hallucinogens, mood stabilizers, and antidepressants. So I'm on a lot of medication. So that's why I say I can sleep anywhere from, if I'm manic, I'll sleep anywhere from 1 to 4 hours. But if I'm like stable, which I am now, thank God, I'll sleep, anywhere from 7 to 10 hours a night. Okay. I try to wake up at least before 8 o'clock, and go to sleep before midnight. So that's kind of generally my timeline. So yeah.
All right. So let's go into manic a little bit. Are there signs? Do you know that you're going into a different state of mind? Is that something that you key on? How does that work for you?
Yeah. So like mania for me is very apparent, because like I'll speak really quickly and people will be like, we don't understand you, but I'll just keep rambling on. And so I'll ramble on. I'm like very restless. I get very irritated easily. And also the appetite behind it is like, I'll just keep eating food. Like it's an insatiable appetite that I get because I'm not sleeping. And then also when I'm manic, because I'm not sleeping, I'll have like hallucinations. Like they're usually audio hallucinations, but I've had like visual hallucinations and stuff like that as well. So that's why I'm on like anti-hallucinogens that actually help me sleep, so that I can get a regular sleep cycle in. Because otherwise, if I didn't have meds that I take every night, then I wouldn't be able to sleep. So yeah, there's definitely signs. I feel like my mood and just like the way I portray myself and mannerisms, the way I speak, my tone of voice, all that stuff changes when I'm manic. I'm very aggressive. I'm not like myself. Usually I'm like laid back, chill kind of guy. Like I take my anger out on the weights, and then I'm, I feel relaxed afterwards, So my wife's really able to like identify when I'm manic, and she's always been honest with me. So like sometimes I'm not always like aware of it, but she's always aware. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome to have a partner like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How did she recognize it?
She says that, my voice is different. The way I act is different. She can just tell with my facial expressions. She could just, she's so empathic. I feel like, she works, for a company called Union EAP.
Okay.
And she works from home, and basically they're like a crisis line for any union workers, like, you know, steel fabricator workers,
Yeah.
or, you know, underwater welders. And, you know, they have a lot of accidents throughout the year. And so people who survive those accidents, you know, go through PTSD symptoms and, you know, suicidal ideations. They need to be admitted and all that. So her company takes care of all that mental health stuff on the union side. So she does, like, she's doing God's work, you know. She's really, she's amazing. And she just got her doctorate in performance psychology. So she's graduating from Grand Canyon University this year. Yeah, that's so awesome. She's a stud. And she's going for a master's as well at an online university as well right now. Her logic is, if I keep going to school, I don't have to pay my debt back. Oh. So she's just going to keep going to school.
Smart.
Yeah.
You married a smart one.
She's just, I'm like, if that's up to you, man. Like, I'm not doing the homework. I'm not. I did go to like a few classes in Glendale Community College, but like Strongman slowly took over my life. And so there was this one Saturday, I had the opportunity to train with Jerry Pritchett, who was an American deadlift record holder, World's Strongest Man finalist, great guy.
What kind of lessons did he give you?
He taught me that it takes dedication, because our training sessions would last like 5-6 hours. And so you'd go like till there was nothing left in the tank, you know? So it's just like, how hard can you really train when you're the only one doing that movement, you know, or just the dedication behind it. Because at the time he was so strong, and like he would help us move plates and stuff, you know, he would still work in with us. And like he was at the time deadlifting 1,000, and I think my best deadlift was like 800 or something like that. So yeah, he was monumental. I remember there was a physics class I had to take on Saturdays, and because I had the opportunity to train with him on Saturdays, I ended up bailing on that physics class, paying for it and not passing it. And then that was the last semester that I had in college, and then I just, you know, been coaching people online ever since.
I mean, priorities. So I think you did the right thing there, because now you're a world record holder.
Yeah, that's
going to be super confirmed in a couple of months.
Yeah.
But you've been a strongman. You've won Arizona Strongman 3 times or 4?
3 times Arizona
3
Strongman.
times. 22, 23, and 25.
So 2020, right before COVID.
Okay.
2022. That's the year that I won my pro card.
Okay.
Because it was called a pro-am. So that's when professionals and amateurs can sign up in the same category. Yeah. And then if you win, you become a pro.
That's awesome.
Or you qualify. And that year I had that was my first year at America's Strongest Man. So that year in 2022, I placed 4th at America's Strongest Man. That year, Bobby Thompson won. And then in 2025, this past year, in September, I won Arizona Strongest Man again.
That's awesome.
So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, you did it. You did all the weight. You pulled it all off. So that's an amazing feat, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Who cares if you didn't go to class? You're a champion. And take that to heart, kids. You don't always have to go to class to get your dreams to be fulfilled.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm an advocate for school, but I'm an advocate for old school. I like it whenever someone with knowledge provides that knowledge to me or can mentor me. And it seems like you knew what was more beneficial at the time. It was the class you can always take, or the class you can only take once. And you made that right decision, I think. So congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I mean, it's always being around, when you're around great people, you pick up a little bit of that, you know? Yeah. So is there anyone else that was influential on this journey you're on?
I would say like some of the strongmen that I really look up to, like, are Zydrunas Zavickas from Lithuania. He's in a movie called Born Strong. And something I took away from him was that he trains alone because it's harder than competition.
Okay.
So, you know, you're the one setting everything up. You're the one putting everything away. You're the one being your own hype man, you know, all these things. And so if you can do it alone, then with people, with that energy that people give you, because you know it's definitely like feels like it's electricity, you know, when people are screaming at you to lift a weight, or you know you're struggling and people are like, you can keep going, you know, that encouragement, something about the human spirit, you can feel that, you know, so it's easier to lift when there's people around. So I take that away from him, that he's like, I train alone because it's harder than competition.
That's huge.
So yeah,
that's huge. It kind of folds into, well, I noticed you do a lot of video, and you post it on your socials.
oh yeah, I post my training.
Yeah. So do you use the camera as motivation? Do you feel any motivation if you know you're filming?
I think it definitely helps, because I feel like I'm going to be able to look back and, you know, if it didn't look good, then I'm going to know. Because usually I can feel like, oh, I feel like that looked good. And then I can look back at the video and kind of get confirmation, because I've been doing it for so long now. But yeah, I like none of my warm-up sets, I usually won't film any of my warm-up sets.
Yeah, fair.
And so then I just, you know, just to save time and energy and setup and all this stuff. And so usually it's only for my top sets or like my big lifts that I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, all right, like this is it. Like it's being recorded. It's going to be like, people are going to be able to tell if it was a good lift or not, you know? So just all these things, like the camera, I think it definitely adds an element to it. Cause I mean, I have a training buddy of mine too, that like when the camera's on him, he feels like kind of exposed a little bit. Cause he's like, oh, I don't like being on the camera. I mean, he's a little bit older than I am, but he's only like, I think 32 now. So I'm 28. So.
And you're already accomplished so much, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm a huge fan. I was like reading the comments underneath there, because everyone's like blown away by what they just witnessed. And then I think they go to the comments to see if it's AI. That's how good your lifts are, because
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man, it's quality stuff, man. It's really quality stuff. So if you're not following him, check him out. But is there any words of wisdom you would give to 18-year-old you coming out of mission, starting this journey, like now that you're 28, 10 years ago? What would you tell that man, that young man, 275 pounds, 6'2"? What would you tell him now?
Just tell him to believe in himself. And the more you put in, the more you get out. That's a quote from Rich Piana. He says, the more you put in, the more you get out. So yeah, I think, you know, with work and belief, I think you can accomplish anything. Because, I mean, before I'd done the 1201 deadlift on the axle, the most I'd ever done on the axle was 11:15.
I saw that.
So it was significantly more than I had ever attempted even in training.
But you put it in the comments. You said it. I'm going to break.
Caption, yeah.
Yeah, you said I will break the world record, and then like it was a couple weeks later you did.
Yeah.
I mean, you kept your word.
I like putting it out there sometimes. If I don't accomplish, then I'm like, it's just gonna take more time. It's just a matter of time for me. So yeah, I feel like with belief, work, and time, you can do whatever you like.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You ever heard that Thomas Edison quote where a reporter asked him about the light bulb? He said, you failed 10,000 times. And the reporter's like going after him. He's like, what do you think? He goes, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb work.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
I paraphrased it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have to put in that 10,000, 1,000, whatever. You have to put in that grind, man. And
work has to be done.
Yeah.
Even when no one's watching. That's the hardest part as well. It's because like there's just integrity. You know, like how much hard work are you willing to put in when no one is watching you, no one cares basically, until you know you prove yourself in competition that it's official, and then you know you get your reward, your whatever your goal is. You know.
What is your goal?
So my goal is to now go to the Arnold Pro-Am.
Yep.
And win that competition, because then it qualifies me for a 2027 Arnold Classic Pro. Nice. So that stage is like where the big prize purses, I think it's like 75 grand if you win. You know, obviously if you win, you get sponsors, things like that.
Yeah.
And I have a few sponsors as well.
Who are your sponsors? Let's plug them.
Yeah. So I have a supplement company, guy Bill Parker. Silverback Nutrition.
Okay.
So I use that pre-workout, that protein, and it's really good stuff. I'm sponsored by Zone Smelling Salts. So like the ammonia salts that you smell before a lift, they get you all jacked up. And then I'm sponsored by Barefoot Shoes. Owner Chris Duffin. They're like a barefoot company, so like thin sole shoes and boots and stuff like that. So they have lifting shoes, stuff like that to that effect. And those are my sponsors. So
Awesome. Yeah. We'll put their links in there for everyone to go check them out.
For sure.
That's awesome. All right. So how can people find you?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. I'm Roy_Gaines. We're working on the YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, and we're trying to get that all figured out. But it'll be underneath the same name. So yeah, no one else has Roy Gaines. So
All right.
that's my name.
Yeah, I love it. Roy Gaines is so easy it flows.
Yeah.
It's easy to grasp, and it's exactly what I'm seeing you do consistently over time. Your consistency is amazing, brother. How do you keep showing up like you do?
I think I just go crazy without it. Like I just need to feel sore to go to bed. Like ever since I started training, I started training lifting weights when I was 14, and just that kind of soreness you get, it feels like almost like an accomplishment, because you're like, wow, like I really did some work, because now I can't lift my arms right, like I'm really sore and beat up. But then you get moving again, you get back into it, you see progression, and that is really what I'm obsessed about, is just the progression, like, well, let's see how far we really can push it. So now I want to obviously lift more than 1201 on the axle. There will be a world's competition in September in ATP gym, Advanced Training Powerlifting Gym. It's over in Ahwatukee. Shout out to him too, Adam Steiger, because he lets me train there. And so yeah, he's an awesome gym owner, awesome coach. And so but
You're gonna go heavier?
yeah. So my goal is I want to do 1260.
Nice.
Yeah.
That just made the white in my eyes come out. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah. Yeah. So the reason behind it is because, on a digital clock, right? Not military time, just digital. When I first deadlifted 705, I looked at the time and it was like that time, it was like 703 or something. And I was like, that's cool. I can deadlift that. So on a regular digital clock that's not military, the biggest number is 1259.
Yes.
So I want to be able to look at all the times and say, I can deadlift that, whatever the time.
That's an epic story.
Yeah. So
That's an epic goal.
I'm kind of
too.
meticulous about stuff like that. Yeah. I'm
Man,
kind
you
of
got
a nerd.
it. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So
Well, for all the things that you've been through, thank you for being here.
thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, congratulations. I'm going to give you some things. The first thing is my patch. In the military, we give away patches or coins.
Yeah.
And it's a symbol for something that's happened in time. This one, it's my red beard patch. It's a black beard, but this patch right here is missing the beard because you're about to get your new goal. And whenever it does, I'll replace it with the red beard for you. But this one has target. This is a special patch. There's one of a kind, and I've never given anything to a world record holder. So this one is yours specifically. It's one of a kind.
Much.
Yeah, you can put that on your gym gear. I want to give you some fight scrub. This is it's all anti-ammonia and it fights germs and bacteria, but it smells great. This is the sandalwood and bourbon version. You can put this on anything you want to sanitize, and it's all natural, so you don't have to worry about chemicals or anything like that.
Okay, yeah.
People use it for fighting. People use it for football. You can use it for your gym gear. So if you got wraps that you want to hit up and you don't want to clean them, just spray them off and you're good to go. But the last thing I'm going to give you,
That's so considerate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
is a $100 donation to some new shoes. So that whenever you do, if you do have to wear shoes at your next competition, you can look down and think about Targeted Podcast.
All right.
Just one shoe though. You can't look at both of them because that's probably not going to buy two.
I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Is there anything else you would like to share with our audience?
Just that, I'm really grateful for the strength that I've been able to attain, and I feel like I'm just really grateful to God because, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like He's shown me so much, and and been patient with me, because I've definitely been stubborn throughout my lifetime. So I'm just filled with gratitude right now. So I really appreciate it.
That's awesome. Yeah, gratitude is always the best feeling, isn't it? I love it. So thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
I'm going to close out the show. If you are watching this now, we are a top 100%. 100% over 125,000 subscribers as of today. So we're a top 1% show on YouTube. We're growing at 5,000 to 6,000 subscribers a week because of guests like this and people like you. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you got something out of this. And if you are looking at doing something like this, aim for excellence and stay on target. I'm Atlas Aultman. Goodbye. Stay with us as we stay on target with another awesome episode coming up next. We'll see you there. And subscribe to Targeted Now. As an ambassador to buckedup.com, I get to give you our special discount. That's Atlas25 when you go to buckedup.com to get that special discount. Only for our listeners, Atlas25. Go to buckedup.com now. Entrepreneurs, you're wasting money. Are you paying for TV, radio, maybe even newspapers? I gotta tell you, that's all dead. What's new? Well, I'm glad you asked, Atlas. It's podcasting. Just so happens I have a very successful podcast that I can put you on. And we're looking for guests. So if you have a product or service that will help people, hit us up. Atlas Aultman Targeted Podcast. We bring new audiences to new people. And we bring new people to, well, you. Check us out.